This week's scenario is Recon from the 2015 Steamroller packet. The scenario does not have the Killbox Artifice in effect and consists of a rectangular zone in the center of the board flanked by 2 flags. The flags can be dominated for 1 CP, the enemy objective can be destroyed for 1 CP, and the zone can be controlled for 1 CP or dominated for 2 CPs. First player to 5 control points or caster an assassination wins the game.
Today I decided to go with Lord Arbiter E-Hexeris, the typical Titan group, which is the Bronzeback and the Gladiator. I decided to Cannoneer because, well, range attacks are funny. The Keltarii, the Nihilators, the Beast Handlers for my infantry because, well, one, the Keltarii are new, and they seem like they should do pretty fair for Skorne infantry. Then I also have an Extoller Soulward and a Willbreaker. I had 2 points, so I went ahead and threw in the Reptile Hound. Just because, well, I like the Reptile Hounds.
Hello, this is Iron Lich W, and this week I decided to bring a 50-point Lich Lord Asphyxious list. Lich Lord Asphyxious is one of Cryx's best casters, and I decided to bring him because my opponent has beaten me 3 consecutive times on the channel, and I am now trying to get the elusive win against PG-Pokey. My plan is to essentially move everything forward as fast as I can and jam as many infantry models down my opponent's throat, hoping that he can't deal with the horde. And then once the Helldiver is close enough, use the Helldiver to knock down the opposing Warlock. That way when Asphyxious pops his feet, he will have 10 models that will be out-hitting on a knockdown Warlock. The objective I decided to bring was the Effigy of Valor, which will allow my cast to get closer to the center of the board and give him cover while granting the living elements of my army fearlessness. For deployment of the Cryx army, I start by putting Asphyxious and the Blood Witches near the center so they can get to the objective as quick as possible. And I think the overall tactic that I'm going to employ is to have Bane units on my flanks, which is why I put the Bane Knights on my left. And then I, further on, will put the Bane Thralls on the right flank. I want to try and use the Bane units to encourage my opponent to go towards the center of the board, where the Helldiver is going to be, as well as the Deathripper to arc the occasional spell when I need it. Right away I can tell that I'm expecting to have some trouble with what we're going to treat as a force in the center of the table. So I've yet to figure out what I'm going to deal with that, but we'll see how I handle it once the game gets started.
Alright, for my deployment, I knew that I was going to want to go to the center, mostly because that's where my objective is, and I figured that's the best and easiest way I could actually score points. So I put my caster there in the middle, and then his battle group was just kind of circled around him, because Gladiator is going to be basically my Pathfinder ability, +2 speed. The Cannoneer is going to be for my ranged attack, to hopefully whittle down some of his infantry. The Bronzeback, well, the Bronzeback does what the Bronzeback does when it can, and it kills stuff. Infantry, I just kind of put him on the outside, hoping to keep his caster from potentially coming in on one of the flanks to get the flags on the ends. Plus I was running out of room in the middle for them. And then of course all the support in the back.
Cryx turn 1, I allocate a point of focus to each Lightjack, and then I run the Helldiver out, as well as the Deathripper. And then I activate Saxon Orrik, have him run. We'll get a little close to the zone, followed up by running the Blood Witches with the intent to try and set them up for mini-feeding on the next turn, as well as get the Blood Hag up there, because I know Nihilators, I'm going to try and gravitate hordes, move her in their direction. Then activate the Bane Thralls and have them run up, keeping them on the far right flank. Then I activate the Bane Knives and have them do the same. Trying to continue to encourage my opponent to go towards the center theory. Then I activate Asphyxious. He uses 3 to cast Hellbound on himself, then he moves up. And I use the remaining focus to put down a cloud. My thinking on cloud placement is I don't want him to completely run and jam my center, so I still want to keep him back a little bit, so I put it just off the edge of the forest. If my opponent were to enter the Caustic Mist Cloud, he'd take a point of corrosion damage. Then I activate the Bile Thralls and have them run up. Same with the Skarlock, Tartarus, Gorman, and the Withershadow Combine.
Alright, as most first turns go, it's just going to be a very typical first turn. Bronzeback rows for 1 and then runs. Then the Gladiator on the other side does the same. Well, he just runs. I'm just trying to get myself in the zone behind that little forest, hoping that I don't get. Hoping I can get across the field faster than he can get around that forest, so I'm getting a good defensive position. Now I'm just checking my control area. Mostly what I'm doing is I'm trying to see if the Raider is close enough to put Far Strike on the Cannoneer as he is, but he's not. So I activate the Reptile Hound, and he runs. Once again, it's just a matter of trying to get up the field fast enough to get a defensive posture before he can get all that infantry around, around that forest at me. Then I activate the Nihilators. Typical first turn for infantry, they're just going to run. I don't run them all the way forward because I don't want the Banes to be able to reach out and touch me this turn. So I keep them just a little bit back, just on my side of the flag, and hopefully able to bait those Banes in. Now the Raider activates. The Raider then does cast Far Strike on the Cannoneer. Then the Willbreaker activates, and he puts Puppet Master on the Cannoneer. And then the Extoller slides to the side, puts Guidance, which gives him eyeless sight. And then activate the Cannoneer now that he's got all these buffs. Move him forward. I go to shoot. I use the Puppet Master to try to hit better, or a better chance at hitting. And unfortunately I still end up failing because I needed to roll just a little bit higher. So it scatters. And it scatters. I mean, it's not a bad scatter. I mean, it still gets me some infantry. Still, allows me to kill some models. It'd be nice if I could have actually killed the old hag, or whatever she is, the blood hag. And I was also able to hit the dirt dolphin there and put just a little bit of damage on it. Now I activate my caster. He's going to put Ashen Veil up on the Keltarii, so something that'll help them out. More for other games and just memory, that way I know who goes out on. And then I use the bond with the Bronzeback, because E-Hexeris does have a beast bond, to put Arcane Reckoning up on the Nihilators. Then he advances, then of course Hexeris advances up behind the Gladiator, and everybody moves forward, and I manage the Fury with the Beast Handlers, making sure that I have just enough out. The Keltarii activate, they run forward, making sure everybody's in control area.
Cryx turn 2. I dodged a bullet when the Cannoneer missed Saxon Orrik and drifted and killed 2 Blood Witches instead of Saxon Orrik. Withershadow Combine will upkeep Hellbound, as they will for the rest of the game, in case I forget to mention it. And I go ahead and start by activating Saxon Orrik, have him move, then he'll do Reconnaissance on the Blood Witches, which gives them Pathfinder. Then I activate the Blood Witches, have them pop their mini feat, which is they go incorporeal at the end of their activation, and they take the run charge order. So I have 2 of them charge at Keltarii, then the rest trying to run into my opponent's side of the zone, just to be a general nuisance. But thus far, everything is going as I had planned it. So now the 2 that charged a Keltarii grunt, they'll do Death Strike, hitting and killing him. And then another one takes a POW equal to his strength, which I forget what it is at the moment, but it doesn't end up actually hurting him. Not with Snake Eyes, at least. Then I activate the Bane Thralls and have them run. My plan is to try and keep them at the 5 to 6 inch mark away, because I'm thinking about where I'm going to place my clouds on once Asphyxious activates, and prevent charges on the Bane Thralls. So I run to get them in position, then the Skarlock advances. I foresee an Incarnate coming up, but not this turn. Then Deathripper advances, getting ready to arc a spell in case he clusters up his Nihilators. Then the Helldiver advances and burrows. Then I decide to activate Asphyxious, have him move up to where he's right behind the objective to get his cover, make sure he's got a good control area. Then I go ahead and drop 1 cloud where the Nihilators are, just so I could control their movement. And after doing a couple little more estimation, I go ahead and drop 2 more Caustic Mist clouds and put them in front of the Keltarii. Now this will stop most of my opponent's charges, but it will not stop all of them, so I accepted that fact. Then I activate the Bile Thralls and have them move up, as if any of the units advance, then they'll be in range of a Bile Thrall Purge. Then Tartarus runs to the far right. Then the Bay Knights run, but I actually run them in a defensive manner because the Berserk on the Nihilators I know can get most of them killed, so I gotta try and limit the damage that the Nihilators will do, and hope that Vengeance and the Bay Knight activation will get rid of most of them. Gorman advances and puts a smoke bomb down, and then the Withershadow Combine run to get in position.
Alright, I forgot how fast those Blood Witches, or whatever they are, I kind of forgot how fast they could be. So that kind of sucks. I only lost a couple guys, no big deal. It's expected, you're going to lose guys. And now he's got me kind of tied up, so now I have to figure out a way to free myself. So I start with upkeeping Ashen Veil on the Keltarii. I let Arcane Reckoning drop. I then go to cast Ashes to Ashes. I hit. I managed to go to 4 extra people. And just the die rolls alone are enough to kill off most of them. I'll kill off all the ones I'm supposed to hit, helping to free up the Gladiator, and also kind of slowing the tide of witches coming through. With him popping his mini feat last turn, casting spells, or my caster actually swinging on them would be the only way I could actually damage them. So then the Gladiator advances, trying to still stay hidden behind the tree there, the forest, and puts Rush on the Bronzeback. The Extoller then moves forward, shimmy, 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 and puts the Guidance up on the Bronzeback. Because not only does it give me Eyeless Sight, it also gives me magical weapons. So now the Bronzeback has Rush and Guidance up. And now it's the thinking of where to move next. How to proceed, how to move forward. Trying to figure out my different options for what I can see. I was trying to figure out if the rings that were put out would block line of sight for the Cannoneer. And then can I get the Bronzeback to trample forward and hit both Blood Witches, stopping just shy of the other one. After talking with Iron Lich W, we both agreed that I would be able to clip both of the bases on the way in, trampling them, and then stopping at the one in the front. I boosted to hit. I boosted to hit on the other one because at POW 13, I'm pretty much just, going to kill them outright. And now the Bronzeback is pretty much full, so now I'm going to have to really hope that I can get the Beast Handlers close enough so they can whip some of that fury off, or at least remove the fury from everybody else. The Willbreaker advances, gives Puppet Master to the Cannoneer. The Raider moved forward, did Far Strike on the Cannoneer as well. And then I attempt to pop a shot at the Skarlock, but I fall just short. But I still end up clipping him, boosting, and not doing enough damage to kill him, which really kind of sucked. But I was able to force a tough check on one of the Bane Thralls. And then I put up Diminish, I do believe. Yes, I put up Diminish just in the off chance that he got somebody through the lines and into my caster. Diminish is -2 strength for enemy models within 2 inches. Now the Nihilators activate, they take the charge order. I'm not getting as deep as I was hoping, but I am able to engage, so that is the bonus there. The first 3 were able to charge, and now everybody else is just running to engage. I know that the Bane Knights have Ghostly, so it does not matter, but I was hoping that I could get enough in the way that they wouldn't be able to move past my bases. So now I go to swing, and then I kill, and then berserk, and then kill, and then swing on my guy and miss, which is kind of the way it goes sometimes. I guess the last one actually ran up. Now the Keltarii activate, they take the charge order. This is actually a relatively long turn for me, and it's not even my feet turn. But it is a rather long turn, mostly because of the fact that I am trying to maneuver around those clouds, because I really don't want to take a point of damage. And now the Keltarii took the charge / run order, and thankfully they have parry, so they're not being affected by free strikes while they're running through the Banes like that. And it's just very funny trying to get them through that little area, and it's leaving charge lanes open for my other guys to still be able to charge. And just finishing up with the runs, like so. Then I make my swings. And he failed one, made one. failed another, which I'm not feeling too bad about. It's not too bad that he's failing them. I'm hoping that Tartarus can't get through too far and start creating more of those guys. Now, the Keltarii do have a rule of reform, so after they complete their movement in action, they then get to make a 3-inch move forward, or a 3-inch advance. It doesn't have to be forward, it can be any direction I want it to be. For this instance, I decided to move them forward to try to hopefully tie up as much of the infantry as possible, and the beast handlers move forward to do my fury, so it's all good.
Cryx turn. Withershadow Combine upkeeps Hellbound. Helldiver pops up. Getting ready to move a little closer. Then the Bane Knight take their vengeance moves and swings. So once the Bane Knights are in position, I start rolling out the swings. And I find out that they can't hit a lot. They need 7s a hit, and they managed to kill 1 Nihilator out of 7, 8 attacks. Oh, 2 Nihilators. Sorry. I just remember them missing a lot. So I get rid of all my clouds and smokes. And then miss with the rest of the unit. So I actually start normal activations with the Deathripper. I see my opponent has lined up the Nihilators nicely, and I'm thinking if I can get a Bile Thrall in there, I can free up the Bane Knights so they can charge and try and take out the rest of the unit. So I activate the Deathripper, I have him move away, giving my opponent a free strike on him. My opponent, fortunately, well, fortunate for me, he misses. Then that opens up the playbook. I then go ahead and activate the Skarlock. And see if I get the Skarlock to pull off the next Skarne without needing to focus for my caster. So he hits the Keltarii with it. The POW's strong enough to kill him or remove him from play since that's specific to Skarne. Then I drop a Bile Thrall near Asphyxious, since Asphyxious is the one with the actual rule. So the place model has to be within range of Asphyxious when I place him and in command range. Then I activate the Bile Thralls. They advance. No, not Bile Thrall. Sorry, that is the Blood Hag, the last surviving unit, the Blood Witch unit. Try and get anti-tough bubble over there. Then I activate with the Bile Thralls. Try and move him in position. Move the one I just placed past the melee range of the Nihilator. Then he purges because he's unengaged. I will hit 5 Nihilators, and I will end up killing them all because they're in the 9-inch bubble that says no tough from the Blood Hag. Now I'm measuring to the miles are in the forest and determine that I can't see the Bronzeback or the Helldiver. So thus far things are looking very good. So I turn my attention to the rest of the Keltarii unit. I activate Tartarus. I have him charge the one Keltarii model I can see. He curses this unit as well. They fail their terror check. And he hits him and creates a new Bane Thrall. I was critical to not Thresher because I didn't want to hit my models. So then I activate the Bane Thralls. They advance, and really they kind of shift to make sure that everyone is near a Keltarii to swing on him. Then I keep a couple extra near the flag in case something happens to the flag on my next turn, and I can pass it off. And then I'm beginning to take their swings. The Bane Thralls do very well because I hit all the Keltarii and end up getting rid of the rest of the unit. So once Saxon Orrik is freed up, I have him run near the flag, then realizing that I can only dominate those flags. And then Withershadow Combine advances to put puppet strings on Gatsby, or Asphyxious. It's Gatsby for short, in case you didn't know. And Gorman will have him now advance and throw a smoke bomb. Just to try and cover where Gatsby's going to be. Then I activate Gatsby, he advances, and throws the Mortis, covering the 3 Nihilators that are within his range. Trying to collect some souls for the next turn. Then the Bane Knights activate and they take the order to charge, thoroughly demonstrating why they need Tartarus. So I have one run to the Bronzeback, run to engage Bronzeback, then run the rest of the unit in. So I had 4 charges, everyone else ran. And then when I actually started swinging, 3 miss, 3 of the 4 that charge miss, but the 4th one killing at least 1 Annihilator. So I did not do as great as I wanted to on this part.
Alright. Well, 2 things about the last turn that really kind of were not good for me. One, the Blood Hag, the old witch, whatever she is, was alive and able to stop my tough checks over on the one side. Then the Bile Thrall came through. Ugh. Hate those guys. So much damage. You know, it's like, oh, I blew up. People die. Then there's the Vengeance on the Knight, the Bane Knights. Was expecting that, but I was hoping to actually make some of the tough checks, so the models actually be somewhat in the way. Wasn't so lucky. So the last couple that are remaining are trying to do their part, but failed to hit. Luckily for me, the Bronzeback wasn't damaged. But now I end up activating the Gladiator. He advances forward, and I just start using him to beat the Dirt Dolphin to death. He then puts 2 out to put Rush on the Bronzeback. Reptile Hound activates. He does 1 for charging, and then 1 to boost it to hits. And because he did, he is able to kill the Bane Knight. The Raider then activates, moves forward. I go to shoot the Bile Thrall. They're low defense, easy to hit, allowing me to do what I need to do with the Bronzeback. The Extoller moves forward, gives him guidance so he can see through the forest. And I think the plan is pretty much to try to wear him down on, try to get some control points here. Try to swing this around, because there's no way I can hopefully be able to just, you know, get rid of him, kill his caster, go for a caster kill. Because that just kind of seems almost impossible. The one Beast Handler advances, gives Enrage to the Bronzeback. The other 2 are there to swing on the Bane Knight. The first one's able to swing and kill or re-kill the Bane Knight, as it were. And because I didn't quite, the Gladiator is actually further forward. I was talking with Iron Lich to say where exactly the Gladiator was, because, well, when it's Skorne, it's tusks everywhere. So I went and I shot. I'm now boosting damage to make sure I kill different things, because models just need to die. And of course he ends up making the one tough check. When the Bronzeback activates, I have him charge the objective. I unfortunately get a little too close to the one Bane Knight that I couldn't get to, and he puts a whole lot of hurting on me. So I auto hit the objective with my first 2 attacks. I kill it. I boost on the Blood Hag, because that's the final one that was sitting over there, and I squash her. Probably should have put up Trainwreck so I could have moved over some, but I was just more trying to get myself across. So now I'm going to Rile, because I'm pretty sure my Bronzeback is going to die this turn. Not to mention, now that he's up there, he's no longer engaged by anything, and he is my Arc Node because of my Beast Bond. And I go to put some, what was it? I think it was a Hellfire or something into E-Hexeris, but I don't think it does anything. I then do 2 for, I want to say it's Arcane Reckoning on myself. Then I go to pop feet. I pull back to Fury. And let myself sit on 2. I think it's another Hellfire that I tried to put out there, but just couldn't get it to go off. And that's my turn.
Cryx turn 4. Withershadow Combine upkeeps Hellbound. Then the Bane Knights do their vengeance moves again. So, off the bat, primary goal is to get rid of the Bronzeback. Since he's on my side of the zone, I don't like that. And he's scary. So after I get done doing my Bane Knight shifts, I'll start swinging. Make sure they're all in command range. And they hit. Pass the tough check, but the second one kills them. And then I get some attacks in on the Bronzeback, doing minimal damage. But some damage is better than no damage. So wanting to get as much on the Bronzeback as possible, I'm thinking I know I'm going to need my Bane Thralls for that. So I activate the Deathripper, and just advance him, get him out of the way, clear up the charge lane. Then I try and get Tartarus closer to get, increase the threat range of the Bane Thralls and improve their mat on the Bronzeback. So I move Tartarus as close as it can be, attempt to curse, find out I'm out, and it goes down to the Bane Thralls doing it on their own. I move Saxon Orrik up. I'm not sure what to do with him at this point since he's not going to do a whole lot of damage. Maybe I'll attack him and take away some fury from the Cannoneer on later turns. Then I activate the Biles. Have them run to also get out of the way of the Bane Thralls. And be annoying and provide bodies between the Bronzeback should he somehow live and E-Asphyxious. The major error I had from last turn is I forgot to activate the Helldiver, so I just lost him on my opponent's turn. Now I have to figure out how to win without knocking down my opponent's Warlock. But going back in and activating the Bile Thralls, they take over the charge. So I put one on the Cannoneer, just do some damage, and I throw as much as I can at the Bronzeback, which is only 3 in this case. Making sure I don't get out of the command range. Then I end up doing a lot of more damage to the Cannoneer than I thought, knocking out at least one aspect. I forget which one it was. Then I end up not doing so much damage to the Bronzeback. I do enough to knock out a system, but I will have to use the Bane Knights to actually finish him off. So once the Bile Thralls are done, Withershadow Combine activates, and they put pup strings on the Bane Knights, and then they advance, put pup strings on the Bane Knights, and then they attempt to Darkfire the Cyclops Raider. Missing him, but it was only a pot shot. Then I have to move on to the Bane Knights. They activate, and they give the order to run/charge. Checking to see if I have distance see through the forest on E-Hexeris, which I do not. So the Bane Knight will have to run. Then I charge the Raider of the unit leader, and then I charge, looks like 2 into the Bronzeback. Put another one on the Raider. And that last guy was going to once again try and finish off the Nihilator. So the first Bane Knight that hits a Bronzeback ends up putting him down, which is good. Then I moved my attention towards the Raider. I hit him with the first one. Puppet strings the damage. End up doing a lot of damage to him, knocking out the system. And then everyone else misses. But that's okay, I get rid of the Bronzeback. So goal number 1 set. Now I'm thinking, alright, maybe I'll go try and dominate the flag. So I end up moving Satyxis closer to the flag. Throws the Mortis out there, then just sits there on its focus. So the Cannoneer can shoot him, doesn't do much damage. Then I move up Gorman, attempt to throw a acid bomb under the pain givers who are under the Mortis' area. Gorman misses and ends up drifting further. So I still do clip 2 pain givers. Unfortunately, the second one I catch on drift is outside the zone. But I also get some damage in on E-Hexeris. So there's a very fortunate bonus. So Satyxis gets his 1 soul, and then I do 7 points of damage to E-Hexeris, which he ends up transferring.
Alright, so for this turn, the losing the Bronzeback was expected. There was quite a few weapon masters on that side. So yeah, so now they're in a nice little tight little circle for me. Kind of works out really nice. The Extoller actually got some souls for those models that died from Gorman Di Wulfe's ability. I only clicked the 1 though. I move her forward, put Eyeless Sight on E-Hexeris. Then the Willbreaker moves forward and puts Puppet Master. Because, well, I just need something, I need some stuff to die. I still only have 1 Nihilator left. He's going to shimmy around, trying to get, make sure he can get in the melee with both models. And I swing on the member of the Withershadow Combine and fail to hit. I activate my last couple beast handlers, and they both medicate. Activate the Raider because he's doing the one thing he shouldn't be doing, which is being in combat. He boosted to hit, misses. He then buys another attack and makes it. Kind of funny how sometimes you boost on something you know but fail, but then the next time you're just doing a Hail Mary and you tend to be able to make it work. Alright, the proxy base is still the Gladiator. Gladiator advances forward, boosting 1 to hit the Knight, and then boosting once to hit the little bone chicken over there, but doing next to no damage. And then just rolling out for my tusks, and then I bind, boost, I hit, doing some more damage, not really doing much else, but now I'm going to go ahead and put my base, the Gladiator, back out there, and I'm hoping that this allows me the distance I need to get where I need to with my caster, which is close enough to engage both Bane Knights. And then he Threshers, because that's a nice little rule for him. He's able to kill both of them. Then I'm going to do in Ashes to Ashes on the Bile Thrall because, well, he's easy enough to hit. And I just kind of roll out the damage, and it kind of just keeps on going around the little circle there, forcing him to do a field promotion. And I'll just go ahead and sit on the 3 because I am very far forward, very much in the thick of things. Activate the Reptile Hound because he's still alive. Boosted it to hit on Gorman because I just don't want Gorman alive. Boosting the damage. And unfortunately at POW 8, not quite a powerhouse. So then I activate the Cannoneer. Cannoneer actually advances. Believe it or not, it's actually facing the correct direction. It's trying to snuggle its way in between those two Bane Thralls. And pretty much just filling the little guy up. Well, not quite filling it up, but you know what I mean. And that's it.
Cryx turn 5. Withershadow upkeep Hellbound again. Then one Bane Knight Vengeance. So, trying to get rid of that Reptile Hound so I can free up Gorman, who miraculously survived. So I hit. I do a decent amount of damage. Not enough to kill the Reptile Hound, though. So I have to think of other ways to actually finish him off. Knocks out some aspects. I start with Orrik. I charge the Cannoneer and hit him with the Flaying Knife, which on a hit, I get to add a point of fury to that beast or take a point of fury away. I add a point of fury so I can fill him up and remove him as a possible transfer target. The Bane Knight, I have him advance so that he can swing on the Reptile Hound again, but this time he misses him. So at this point I figure, hey, Gorman is immune to corrosion damage, so I'm just gonna activate the Bile Thralls and purge and kill everything except for Gorman. So I activate the Withershadow Combine. I have him shift over. Then they put puppet strings on the Bile Thralls. First time for that. Going with the Bile Thralls, I activate them. I have them move up. Make sure that none of them are engaged, but that all of them can get Hexeris in range of the purge. And I start purging up the front one. So he'll kill the Reptile Hound, which is great. Kill my last Bane Knight, which is alright with me. Then he'll do some damage to the Raider. And kills that last Pain Giver. Well, second to last. Then does some damage to, point damage to Hexeris. Second one purges. Doing a lot of damage to the Raider. And then nothing to Hexeris. But gives him corrosion. And last one purges. Nothing to the Raider. And 2 points of damage to Hexeris. But I puppet strings it and ended up doing no damage. Trying to do more damage and did less. Then I activate Gorman. Gorman moves up and he throws a black oil at Hexeris. Try to move up close enough to where even if I miss him, which I do on a throw, he can't deviate off of Hexeris. So because I hit him with black oil, he's -4 to his defensive line, or -4 to his defensive stat line, and then his mat, and then he can't make magical attacks. I attempt to move up Tartarus to curse him so the Bane Knights can hit him even better, but Hexeris is too deep into the forest. Tartarus cannot see him, and once again shows that he was out of place. So it ends up cursing the Gladiator because that is a legal target. And I will have to put enough damage on the Gladiator to where he's not going to be a viable transfer target unless the transfer rolls back into Hexeris and kills him. So make sure all the Bane Thralls have someone to charge and begin doing some damage to the Gladiator. Unfortunately, it's too close, so a lot of the guys didn't get any kind of transfer damage. And then I did get one guy in Hexeris, so he did 3 points there. And I think I got a second guy on Hexeris, and then the rest were on the Gladiator and Cannoneer. So I activate Asphyxious, he moves up, then just go ahead and feats. Seeing as both my opponent and myself were running out of time, didn't worry about moving him back. I just proceeded to activate all the solos I just created, and we'll begin charging Hexeris. So first Bane Knight charges, hits him, does a reasonable amount of damage. Second Bane charges, misses him. The third Bane Knight doesn't charge Hexeris, but charges a Bane Thrall that's on Hexeris to try and clear up more space for the Bane Knights. Or no, the third one charges Hexeris and misses him. And then the fourth one charges a Bane Thrall and kills him to create more space. That gives me space for 2 more Bane Knights, so I roll another one in there. Who misses. And then the fourth one, or fourth and fifth one, who also misses. But there's a crack in between 2 of them, so I charge the last remaining Bane Knight. After clearing it with my opponent, then he will hit, and he will have done enough damage to where if he had transferred, it would have rolled back and killed Hexeris. So victory, Cryx.